Hello, Bob Van Rossum with Market Pro, and we're seeing so many good changes with AI, and we're seeing so many interesting things going on in the world relative to how AI is impacting marketing, which at the end of the day is impacting the candidates and the talent that we represent at Market Pro. Then we're also seeing how people are using AI in a way it's not ready for. We're not there yet. So let's talk about that. So Market Pro is a executive search firm specifically for top marketing talent. So we do marketing executive search, we do chief marketing officer executive search, it's about half of what we do. And organizations reach out to us when they really need to find the very best talent possible in the top 6, 7, 8 candidates they can possibly find in the country for their specific role, right? And so that's our job. Who are the A players that can fundamentally change the way they view marketing as an organization? And how do we get to those candidates? And that has nothing to do with who's looking for a job, right? And so what all that means is 99% of the time we talk to a candidate, they don't have a resume. And we've engaged them in an opportunity that is a great next step for their career. We've talked to them about why we think that's the case. After we understand what their goals are. And then we've vetted them through 2 rounds of interviews to make sure that we think they're the very best at what they do, and we're ready to present them to our client. And so we tell them, okay, part of this process is I need to be able to get a resume from you so that I can accurately represent your career to our client. And most people don't have one. 99% of the time they don't have one ready to go. They're not keeping up with it on an ongoing basis. It hasn't been updated since their last job search. And that may have been a real long time ago. So typically they'll come back to us and say, all right, I understand this is a part of the process and you need this. I'll get it to you, but I need the weekend to pull it together. And it might be Tuesday and we have to wait through the weekend to get that from our candidate. And we understand that. It's part of the game that we play. And it's really important though that we have an accurate representation of their career and their accomplishments that we can then engage our client in a conversation with, right? And we send that to our client with an executive summary of all the things we found during our interview process and why we think they're a fit for the role. So typically, as I just said, it's taken a week, maybe a little longer in some cases, to get a resume from a candidate who we're excited about for our client. Now, all of a sudden, we're seeing that turn around in 24 or 48 hours, and it's very clear from both the timing as well as the way the content is structured, that they didn't write the resume themselves, that it came out of an AI model. And AI is doing amazing things. And AI has amazing time-saving ability for all of us across corporate America. It's fascinating how it's evolving. But it's based on whatever data is out there. And if you have a relatively thin LinkedIn profile, and there's not a lot of information out there publicly available about all the things you've accomplished, which is not the way that you would put information out there if you were the face of an organization. It's not going to be how the data is structured out there, right? So you're asking AI to pull a document together, your resume, based on information that's really not publicly available. And what we're getting back is very incomplete information and not a document that we can take and go to our client with. So just a heads up, right? As a senior level executive in marketing or really any other area, if your expectation is that you're going to be able to utilize AI as a tool to write your resume at this point in time, December 2025 is probably an unrealistic expectation. And depending on how good of a job you've done creating your own LinkedIn profile is going to greatly impact the quality of that. But even if you have a very detailed profile out on LinkedIn, I still think that what we're getting back is too thin for us to be able to present that to our client.